Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. This will be part 18 of restoring the Dodge Aspen RT. And we're going to go over some stuff. This will be the video. It's right here. It's dark out. It's like midnight. I watched it a little while ago. That's it there. So this is the video that most of y'all been waiting for, is the paint job. And then that's what we'll get done on this video. I'll have to make a separate video of putting the decals on. All the RT and the stripe decals, the red and orange. I've got them in. They are, I'm not going to undo it till I'm ready, but it's in this roll. Well, I've already unpacked it. It's one big sheet, and you got to cut them out and put the decals on. Okay, so that'll have to be next video, because I have to let that paint dry for I don't know, probably at least 2, 3, 4 days, something like that. Okay, so we're in the garage because, you know, this is kind of a how-to type stuff too, not just painting a car, but telling you all about the process. Okay, so can you paint a car in a garage? Yep, of course you can. So we're going to go over what it takes to paint a car in your garage. Now, it looks messy, and it is, but I've cleared all this out. I had stuff just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it was growing out here. Anyway, I moved a lot of stuff over here so I can pull it in, and I got enough room to walk around the car like this and paint it. Okay, so I got the room now. I got to move this little thing here over. So the first thing you want to do is blow out all the dust. Take your air compressor and blow all the dust, and use a fan. See, I've got this fan here. And make sure you don't have a windy day either, because you'll have pick a nice calm, whether it's at night or whatever. Okay, and blow all the dust out. And you want to wet down the floor right before you paint it. Make sure you have lighting. In my other video I told you my 2 back lights went out. Wasted a whole day going back and forth to Lowe's getting lights, and then it wasn't that, it was the ballast resistor. Went back, the idiots there gave me the wrong ones, hooked them up, they didn't work, took them back, finally got the right ones. So make sure you got lighting so you can see what you're painting. If you don't, if you need extra lighting, get one of those portable lights. I used to have one in my other shop. It's just on a big stand with a big fluorescent light, and you usually use 2 of them. Put them on each side of the car so you can see the sides real good. So these overhead lights, you can see the top real good, but the sides. Okay, so yeah, that's the main thing. Just get the clutter out of the way, blow out the dust, and wet down the floor. Okay, the other thing, important thing is waiting for the perfect time to paint. Of course, you don't paint it in the middle of winter time or anything. You want to paint it when there's no bugs. Like right now, you probably can't see it, but there's a million bugs flying around here. You don't want to paint a car at night in the summer in the south, or really anywhere. Bugs are out everywhere, because those bugs will ruin a paint job faster than. So the best time is early in the morning, and we had a few days of rain here, but the next week it's going to be in the high 90s all week long. So you can't paint it in the middle of the day, because it's, you know, unless you got air conditioning in your shop or whatever. But it's like an oven in here with the doors down, and you have to have the doors down to paint. So you would pull it in, like where I'm getting ready to pull it in here, and then this door here, you would put your fan out to blow out the paint fumes and put some cardboard or whatever on each side of it, and the right compressor. Now these little compressors, this is just a little, I went over this in another video, but you can paint a car in a little compressor like this, so it's no problem. Don't think you need one of those big industrial type ones, you don't. This one here, I'm going to probably be having problems with the water coming out. I didn't in my other one, but this one seems to drip at the outlet right when you connect it with the paint gun. So when I do, I'll probably do some videos of me painting it, and you'll probably see a bunch of paper towels wrapped around there with some tape, and that keeps the water from dripping on your paint job. You don't want nothing dripping, including that water and sweat. That's why you can't really paint it when it's too hot, because if you start dripping sweat, that'll ruin a paint job too. Not ruin it, but you'd have to spend a lot of time sanding and buffing and all that. And that's one thing I don't do. I try to get the best paint job I can, so I don't have to sand and buff it. Okay, so I think that's the setup in the garage here. I'm fixing to blow it all out and then bring the Aspen over here and wipe it down. There's still water on it. And the secret of a paint job is to always wash a car before you paint it, because no matter what, there will be dust from your body work and sanding in every little crevice of that car, and even just blowing it out with an air nozzle won't get it all out. When you go to paint the car, some dust will pop out from somewhere and ruin your paint job. So always wash it, okay? Doesn't have to be real high pressure, but just wash it all down real good, and then wipe it down, like, wipe out your door jambs and under the hood and trunk. Make sure all the water and stuff's out of there, and then you can start masking it and painting it. Okay, so I think that's all. That's how you can paint a car in your garage. That's the steps you do. Okay, so we're going to go over, had some comments of what paint I use. And just relight my cigarette here. Okay, so my last video there, I told you I buy these cheap Harbor Freight guns. They work great. And don't be fooled into thinking you need some very high dollar spray gun. You don't. This little $16 gun here, spray a car just right. Somebody asked, well, it does have air. I do have it. Somebody asked about what air pressure, and I can't even tell. It's so screwed up on my little deal there. But it's pretty much what feels right. Like when I painted that grill, just use low pressure. If you're doing jams, low pressure. But when you're painting the whole car, you need, pretty good pressure. And you just practice on the side, like the side windows that you have masked up. You spray on there to get your pattern right, adjust for your pattern, and then your pressure, and paint the car. Okay, so that's what I'll be using. That's what I was saying about the paper towels and tape. Right here where it connects is where I'm getting some water dripping. And I know I drained the tank. There's no water in the tank, but for some reason it comes out and drips there. And no, I'm not going to be buying expensive water traps and all kinds of extra crap for that compressor. I'll just wrap some paper towels on there whenever I paint a car, because I don't paint cars very often, So, okay, so that's the paint gun. Now the paint, you can use any type of paint you want, but the best bang for the buck, say, that I like is a single stage Nissan 2K urethane. Okay, this is what I'll be using here, this black 400-01, I believe it is, called Nissan Full Thane 2K urethane. That gallon of black is about 120 bucks. Okay, then you need your hardener and reducer. So you're looking at, oh, I don't know, 150 bucks, 160 bucks, 170 bucks to paint your car. When I painted my Chevelle, I went over this. This is what the paint store, always check your local paint store and ask them if they have any pre-mixed paint that somebody didn't like, somebody didn't pay for, somebody didn't want, stuff like that. And they'll have them in the back and they'll sell them to you for like half price. I painted my Chevelle with this pewter metallic. I got these two here for 60 bucks each a gallon. That's pewter metallic, that's silver metallic. So always check that, because every paint store has them, whether they're in gallons or quarts or whatever. You can buy like 2 or 3 quarts and mix them together. They'll sell them cheap. In fact, my paint store said he had a bunch of quarts that he'll just give me. I should have taken them. This was a while back. That you know, they either turned out the wrong color or something. Okay, so that's what I like, is this Nissan urethane. This paint shines and it will last, I mean, just about forever. I've got it on cars that are like 10 years old and they still shine and they've never been waxed or buffed or nothing. Okay, this ain't no cheap, you know, synthetic Mako type paint. This is good stuff. Okay, and I paint some cars base clear, but I don't really like to because of the clear peeling and fading, especially down here in the south when it's friggin' 100 degrees every day in the summer. It's just no good. So I paint most of my cars with the single stage. Okay, so that's the paint, hardener, reducer. Okay, so I think that's about it that we're going to go over. If you haven't seen my video for the Nova, I just posted a video, introduction video, and this is what I'm going to be starting on next after the RT's done. Like I said, the RT, we're going to paint it here in the next few days, post a video. Then I'm going to make another video of doing the decals on it, putting them on there. And then probably a recap video of all the work done to it, how much it cost, what more work should be done, could be done, what somebody else would want to do to it. We're going to go over what I think the value is of it, because what I'm doing here is budget builds, right? I don't put more money in a car than what it's worth. Okay, to me it's just even though I'm keeping these cars, I don't put more money in them than they're worth, and I don't think anybody should. It's just crazy. I just see so much crazy stuff, whether it's on YouTube or people trying to sell their cars. You know, one guy had a Chevelle that he put 120 grand in and he's asking 75 grand. He's already going to take a $50,000 loss, but the car's only worth 40 or 50. But it's the same concept with these cheap cars. Well, I consider like a 78 Nova a cheap car. The 78 Aspen's kind of a cheap car. They're never going to be worth, you know, big money. 40 grand, 50 grand, 30 grand even. These are probably, you know, maxed out at maybe 10,000. Maybe, if they're in excellent shape. And really, to make them excellent shape, you would have to put 10 grand in them. So it's not worth it. It's best to have it worth, maybe put a couple thousand into them and have them worth 5, 6, 7, so you can at least double, triple your money. So there's a certain point where you got to stop on these cars. You can't be putting in wildwood disc brakes all the way around, and custom headers, and turbochargers, and expensive stuff like that. It's just not worth it. You'll lose your ass on them. Okay, so that's basically what we're doing on this channel, is budget builds, and building them so they're decent running drivers and look good, especially the look good part. Okay, so I guess I'll end this segment for now, and I'm gonna get blowing out this shop with the dust, and I'm gonna start masking it. Well, I'm gonna wipe it all down first and everything, go over it real good, and then start masking it. So I'll probably finish it. Well, I either got to paint it tomorrow morning. Probably the best time to paint it's between probably 7 and 9 a.m. But if I can't get it done tomorrow, it'll be done the next day. So depending on what I get done to it tonight, I'll probably put this on the time lapse. I don't know, for the masking part, and then some of the painting part I'll be putting on, like I said, on that Nason paint. 3 good coats is all you need. That's it. 3 coats. You don't need, like base coat, clear coat. You'd be doing 3 or 4 coats of base coat, 3 or 4 coats of clear, and all that crap, and then sanding and buffing it. The single stage, 3 coats of paint, and that's it. Doesn't even take a whole gallon to do a car. Well, it's taking about a whole gallon to do this Aspen, and that'll be outside, under the hood, under the trunk, door jambs, all that stuff. That's probably a gallon. That's all it takes. Okay, because I got probably a little over half a gallon left. Half a gallon, well, maybe 2/3 left. And that's going to be enough to do 3 coats on that car. Okay, so I'll see you next segment. Figure out what I'll be doing. Probably be time-lapsing some masking on it. Stuff like that. So I will see you next segment. Okay guys, I got it all masked up, ready to paint. I'm just going to set it up on a tripod, and I'll record my first coat on it. So I'll set this up, and all you'll hear is a compressor and a fans pretty much. And I got some plastic wrapped around this camera so the paint doesn't ruin it. So I hope it doesn't have any lines in it or anything. Okay guys, I think that's gonna be it. I just put 2 good heavy coats on it, and I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. Got these little teeny little gnat looking bugs that were still flying around. It's not too bad though, I'm not gonna worry about it. So that's why I didn't want to put on a 3rd coat, because I just bury them bugs inside the paint. As you can see, she's pretty shiny, pretty straight. So I think it's good enough. Now I'm going to let this dry for a couple of days, and then well, about a day or so, and then unmask it and detail it, clean up all the overspray and steel wool the bumpers, chrome, stuff like that. And then after another day or so, I'll make the next video, and we'll go ahead and put the stripes on there. Okay, so I'm gonna just close this video out for now, and let's see if we can grab this side here. As you can see, it turned out pretty damn straight. Yeah, I think that's good enough. This paint, even with 2 coats, it's good enough. I'd rather have 3, but so anyway, yeah, I'll close out this video. We got her painted. I'll make one more video with this putting on the stripes. I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And I'm doing the Nova here. Next project. See it there. So I hope y'all stay tuned for that. We'll get rolling on that. And we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.